Welcome to the Deep Dive by Global Heroes, your go-to for the real stories behind real heroes. Get more inspiring content in your inbox with our newsletter, and be sure to follow along on social media. Okay, let's get into this. We're doing a deep dive today on a really significant place, Canada's first and, well, only Chinese-Canadian museum. It's right there in Vancouver's historic Chinatown.
Yeah, right. Think of it as maybe a shortcut, a way to get a handle on a really vital part of Canadian history and, well, identity.
And we're kind of framing this by looking at the huge contributions and, the lived experiences of Chinese Canadians, often highlighting these sort of global heroes, maybe.
Yeah.
Not just famous names, but everyday people, innovators, community builders.
People whose resilience, whose creativity really shaped things.
Yeah. And there's big news, too. They just picked up the 2024 Governor General's History Award for Excellence in Museums, which is, fantastic.
Huge honor. And they've also opened up some really great new spaces and exhibitions recently. So lots happening.
So the museum itself, it's in the Wingsang building, oldest brick building in Chinatown. Is that right?
That's the one, yeah. It's like history holding history, You walk in and you're stepping through these layers of time, following the journey, really, from the earliest arrivals right up to today.
And it's more than just the original building now. They've got the new lobby, a shop, the 1889 Trading Co.
Right, and plans for an education center, even a rooftop garden are in the works, I believe. But yeah, the real core, the draw, has to be how they're telling these stories through the new exhibits.
Okay, so where do we start? First floor.
Yeah, let's start there. First floor's got reshaping collections, where history meets art. It's pretty innovative. They've got 6 Chinese-Canadian artists.
Okay.
And they used portable 3D scanning tech, pretty cool stuff, to interact with historical objects. And then, based on those scans, they created new artworks.
So it makes you think, how does, using modern tools on old things change how we see them?
Exactly. It shifts your perspective on the past, on the objects, maybe even the people who used them. Really makes you think.
That sounds fascinating. Fusing old and new like that. Okay, so moving up, second floor. Takes a different turn, I gather. More about sound.
Totally different vibe. It's Dream Factory. Cantopop Mandopop, 1980s, 2000.
Ah, okay. Pop music history.
Yeah, but it's about how culture travels, right? How it evolves. It explores the huge impact of Cantopop and Mandopop from that era, and surprisingly, Canada's role as a kind of hub for it all.
Really? A hub?
Yeah, it connects migration, community building, global pop culture. It's history you can almost dance to. Very dynamic.
From pop beats to something quite different on the third floor, I think. Military history. Soldier for all seasons.
Yes, and this one is so important, especially marching 80 years since the end of World War II. It gets into the full scope of Chinese-Canadian contributions to the military effort.
Contributions that were overlooked for way too long.
Absolutely, and it shares these incredibly personal stories. You see letters, personal items, hear firsthand accounts. This really speaks to that global heroes idea we mentioned. Courage, sacrifice, foundational stuff.
Seeing their actual belongings must be powerful. Makes it very human.
It really does. And also on that third floor, you've got the period rooms, the historic schoolroom, and a living room.
Right, stepping back into daily life.
Exactly. It brings the texture of everyday life right to you. You can literally step into Vancouver's oldest schoolroom or this recreated 1930s living room from the Wingsang building itself.
And you can interact with stuff.
You can. Play music on an old phonograph, pick up a phone, and hear recorded memories. It's history you can, touch and hear. Gives you a real feel for how people lived, built their lives there.
Makes the past feel very, very present. And the museum also supports contemporary artists too, right? Bridging past and present.
Definitely. They feature contemporary leaders and artists, keeping that connection alive. An annual pass lets you keep up with what's changing, too.
And visiting the museum, it's a good launch point for exploring Chinatown itself.
Oh, absolutely. You're right there. Check out the local shops, the restaurants around the Wingsang building. It extends the whole experience, helps you feel that living legacy of the community.
So wrapping this up for you, the listener, visiting the Chinese-Canadian Museum, or even just learning about it like this, it really offers a genuine shortcut, doesn't it, to understanding a complex, vital part of the Canadian story.
Yeah, it's full of those aha moments. You see the resilience, the creativity, the community building, sometimes quiet heroism, sometimes major contributions that really shaped the country.
So it leaves you with something to think about, maybe.
I think so. Consider how preserving and sharing these specific stories, a soldier's experience, life in a 1930s room, the impact of music,
Yeah.
how all that helps us grasp the bigger picture, the narrative of a diverse nation.
It's about the big moments, yes, but also honoring the everyday lives that, well, built Canada.
Precisely. It's all part of the story.
A lot to reflect on there.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Global Heroes podcast. Stay uplifted with our newsletter. Follow us on your favorite socials and experience more stories of hope in It's a Beautiful World on Prime Video.